I mean, that game we don't even think about because it will be totally two different teams. Remember, we couldn't have played any better in every area, and I'm sure they had a little bit to do with that. They lost their big kid the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game, and I'm sure one just losing a player probably put them in a little bit of shock how we kind of, navigate this thing. And again, you guys were there. We couldn't have played any better. So that's one game totally behind us. It'll be a fingernail biting situation come Saturday. They just did something, remember, we couldn't do. They just beat Middle at home. So it tells you again how good they are. I know after we went to Old Dominion and won, they got down big at Old Dominion, even without the big guy next game. Came back and made a 2-point game after getting down 25 points. They're just different the way they play. And those nights, they make those shots. They're capable of beating anybody, anywhere when that shot falls. Now, we got to hope it don't fall as well. We got to hope we can make some because, you'll get some shots against them. You're going to get some open shots. And, again, but to compare the two games, no comparison. It'll be a tough one right here Saturday night.
It's important to start getting some of those shots to fall after not having that the last few games.
Brad, and y'all have heard me say this, you make some, three-pointers kind of makes the world go round. You make some shots. When you're in tight, grinded-out battles, 1, 2, 3 three-pointers, like the last game, if you make 3, it makes a difference in the game. The game before, I think we were 3 for 15, but the 3 we made helped us. If you make, 5 for 15. Again, these games are so close. 1 possessions, 3 points, 6 points, wins and loses a lot of games. So you don't ask me why and how we're maybe not making them right now. Don't have the answer to that because we've been decently consistent, stat-wise all year long. We don't shoot a lot of them. But it's very obvious we need the guys who can make shots to make shots. Those guys who can do it. We need Darius to make some three-point shots. Tavion don't take a lot, but capable. We need Jake Homer to make some shots. Justin, I think, was the only guy that made a three-pointer the last game, wasn't he? We need one of our guards to jump up and make one. Again, that's just nothing you talk about. Nothing I talk about. Nothing you do different. You trust your shooters, and hey, we may come out tomorrow and make them all. Who knows?
How'd the fumigation of the locker room go?
Well, we got those 2 guys back. We were still without, Monte had got strep. So, but we did get Darius back and we got Jake back. And, it's kind of been one of them weeks for us. That's just where it is. As you know, it's just not our team. I guess it's everywhere. It's in the student body. It's in the public. It's everywhere. And again, that's part of when you go through a season, you're going to have some things. You're going to have some injuries. You got some different lineups. You're going to have some different situations you got to overcome. That's just part of it. No one feels sorry for you. No one's going to cancel no games.
I'm taking you to play tomorrow.
I don't know. Don't know that answer to that question. I mean, and you guys you'll probably know when we know. If he plays, where's his affecting us out? I mean, he's been out all week. It's all week for him, so we'll see.
Rick, how challenging is that on game day as the head coach? I pointed to Darius last week. He's a competitor and wants to play, but if a player is not as effective as how challenging is that?
I didn't know about Darius during shoot-around last Saturday. I didn't know about Darius now. There's a situation, as far as me, I didn't know about during the game. I guess he had told the trainers about an hour before the game where he was at on his. But I knew he wasn't himself. within that game. It didn't take me long to figure that out a little bit, and then it all kind of came out a little bit. But just part of it. Mike, that's, I think the toughest thing to manage is this. Can he go or not go? And if he does go, does he help your team by letting him go, or does he hurt your team by letting him go? Sometimes that's difficult. With Darius the other night, should I set him out? I don't know. He wanted to go, and we let him play. So that's the toughest thing. How effective can a guy go if you let him play? You can't let a guy play, just let him play and he hurt your team. You can't do that. You got to get him out.
How much do you expect Josh to grow here in the next few months? He's kind of got a new start here in Bowling Green.
Chad, it's I don't know if we'll see his growing the way we know he'll grow the rest of the season some, because it's just so hard to get thrown in what he's got thrown into. And because of that, what I mean by that, he's basically, when you hit February, man, your practices are really different. He needed the grind of October to really coaching him hard and, get into him, and then he needs exhibitions where you can have a learning curve a little bit. There's been no learning curve what he's been thrown into. It's hard to kind of put him in, let him make 2 or 3 mistakes, because it makes a difference in the game. But the more he plays, the more he'll get more comfortable. Will we ever see him really shift that gear to the level it needs to be shifted? Probably not, but still at that. We've all seen his ability just to go make plays at times. And it's what he'll have to learn to do is, some of these defenders you're going against now, they're not going to let you just go by them. It's not going to be as easy as high school. And you got to pick and choose your moments. When you're thinking every time I can just go, you put yourself in some bad situations sometimes. And he'll get better at learning about that. Because what he is, he's a good young man. He's really coachable. I really believe that. He just needs some time. But he's going to help us tremendously before his season's over.
How about off the court? Is he settled in after everything he went through in the last 2 years?
Well, I would think so. I mean, you guys ask him that when you talk to him at the media, but I think so. I think the settling in part, is he went through a lot back in Baton Rouge, and he's able to get his mama moved up here in October, November to be with him. His brother plays at Campbell's Hill College, so that's kind of his family right there. He lost some family members back home through some things. So I think that's probably helped his transition a little bit. But not being able to play was probably, no question, the most difficult challenge for him for the first time in his life. The only thing you really love is taken away from you. But he handled it, and I'm sure all that other stuff will get better now because he is playing.
An Ava back for Marshall, how big or how does that change Cyrus' game compared to what you saw the first game without him in there?
Well, he's a really good player. He's a guy that leads the country, if I'm around this stat, shot blocks. So that alone is a huge stat. Average 4.5, 5 a game. Has the ability to score, can really run, gives them they do a really good job rolling him and just throwing it up there and letting him dunk it. No, he's a different guy for him. And again, I'll say this, remember, they just did something that we weren't able to do. They just beat Middle at home. So that tells you how good they are. And, I'm sure it don't matter it's not something we look at or think about because it's big for us because it's the next game. But they probably feel like we didn't get their best shot that first game and probably didn't like the way that game went the first time. But none of that matters. They got really good players. We all know about Elmore. Burke's averaged almost 25 points a game in conference play now. That's a bunch of points. West can really shoot it. They got a George kid back who didn't play the first time against us. Another 6'8" athletic guy. So I think they probably coming in here feeling as good as they felt about themselves all year long after the 2 wins they just come out of against UAB and Middle.
Guess we need an update on the red jacket.
Well, you guys will probably see that red jacket about as quick as I'm going to see it. So all I know is this. Jim Martins and his granddaughter, Neely, are in charge of it, and I've been told he'll be here by Saturday morning. So, they couldn't find the pants in time. So I'm going to stand by what I said. I was going to wear something red, and the jacket's the best we can get at this point. So it should be here by game time is what I hear.